Okay, hi, it's Shane Kistorfin here from Scale Up Consulting. Here is a really simple video on thinking about whether you run things in series or parallel. It's based on something I see quite a lot. It is dead simple, and yet one of the most eye-opening things that I normally do on a whiteboard for people that really surprises them, right? Okay, so series versus parallel, okay? Many of you will have heard of the 4Ds, and when you get super busy, and this is incredibly important, and you move from a startup to a scale up, you've got delegate, do, defer, or drop / delete, right? And if you ask people genuinely how disciplined and good they are, what tends to happen is I've hired more people, and therefore, and I'm going to get better at delegating, right? So the founders move from doing to delegating. They will drop some stuff, but deferring is really hard, right? Deferring is a hard thing to do because you can see the problems, and by default, like myself as a founder, I am a malcontent. I walk into a room and I see 1,000 problems, right? I just can't help it. I look at business and I see 1,000 problems. That's sort of how we train ourselves, and it's that attention to detail that makes people successful. But when you can spot all the things that are wrong, you can cause immense problems with your team. And this is why, okay? So here's like, let's say there's 4 projects, okay? And you've got, at this point in time, you're scaling up, and therefore you think you've got enough people, but you haven't to do all those projects. But you're like, finally, I can get all this stuff done, bang, and you throw it out here. And eventually they do get done. But what your team is really doing is it's oscillating between project A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, right? There is massive dependencies across them in terms of people when you're scaling up. If not, this is not a problem. But unless you've got dedicated engineering squads who are doing like just project A, just project B, just project C, just project D, and by that I mean sort of like 4 to 6 engineers, maybe a designer, maybe a data scientist, whatever it might be, you will have people moving across these projects, okay? And the difference between series and parallels, if you flood the project, and there's a limit to this, of course, right? This is for illustrative reasons only. You can't have like if ever you've seen sort of that Move My Bus when they have 1 million people turn up on a building site to do something, they're all stepping in front of each other. It's pretty difficult. You've got to be highly organized. So there's a limit, but assuming you've got a limited number of people, which is the case in most scale ups, the alternative route is to do it this way, which is to swarm project A and get it done, sit on it daily rather than weekly. So rather than operate to a cadence where you check in on a project every 2 weeks or every month, and you've got your 4 projects going, what about if you just said, we're just going to do one project, we're going to smash it in 2 weeks time. And I'm going to check in every 3 days, 2 days, like we just really hit it. What happens there is you get value here, 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 here. All 4 projects completed this time. Now this line is exactly the same as this line, pretty much. And therefore, the really big thing to notice is this illustrative only again, but it's effectively, it's 6/16 in terms of you've got 1, 2, 3 units here, 2 units here, 1 unit here, all adding up to 6 units of 16 units of time. So 37.5% faster to do stuff in series rather than parallel. But the problem is, as malcontents and as leaders and founders, the desire is to say, I can see a problem, can somebody fix that? I can see a problem, can somebody fix that? I can see a problem, can somebody fix that? Rather than say, stack rank, prioritize, discipline the hell out of it, defer, drop, right, we're just going to do that one and we're going to swarm it and we're going to hit it hard, and I want to check in every 2 days, or I want to check in every 3 days. And that's how you drive pace into your business, and you'll go a hell of a lot faster. So the real problem is, therefore, which makes you feel like more is being achieved, invariably running in parallel, right? It's like I've seen the problems, I've got people in charge of them, don't worry, it's fine. That person's in charge of that, that person's in charge of that. Unless that is the only thing they are doing and you are built in a way that it completely ring fences people to do just one thing, be super, super conscious of the parallel versus series, very, very complex and difficult challenge. Thanks for listening.